You're probably one post away from your dream social media engagement. I think you may be tired of people sending you hints that don't work to grow art accounts, like people from affiliate marketing telling you to post 5 times a day, when we know that's impossible for artists. Have you been dedicating hours to your drawings and putting a lot of hashtags into your posts and getting no return? You have no idea why some of your posts get a lot of likes but no one follows you? Whether you have been trying to grow your account for a while or you're fresh to Twitter, this video is for you. Why choose Twitter for your art? Isn't Twitter dying? Well, do you really think that the social media that belongs to one of the biggest billionaires in the world is going to poof overnight? If it hasn't already, well, I believe it's not going to anytime soon. Besides, if a new social media were to take over, who do you think would dominate the new social media platforms? Who are the people you know that are currently doing well on social media like Blue Sky, and why? I hope this makes sense to you. I myself am not huge on Twitter, but according to this website in 2024, 80% of all Twitter accounts have less than 10 followers, and the average Twitter account has 707 followers, but these numbers are inflated by celebrities who have millions of followers, which takes me, by the time of this video, to the top 15 of Twitter at least. I may not have 100k followers, but I have a friend who started 2 accounts very recently and managed to grow them both to at least 10k in a crazy amount of time. And I'm willing to share the tips she gave me. I myself got to 2.6k and I love to share what I would have done if I had started today. I'm still a tiny drop in the ocean, but I might make an update video in the future when I get to where I want to be, but for the time being, this is what I got. The first question you gotta ask yourself is, why grow an account in this day and age when every experienced artist has been advising others to go do in-person shows like conventions instead? As an artist, you can already do the hardest part, which is drawing. You can go to anime cons and fairs that have your target audience and sell there. Try to think, what's your goal? Is it to get more commissions? Is it to get more customers for your online business? Is it tangible that way? Am I really bringing in potential customers? My reason to keep pushing towards a following is that as an anime artist, we are mostly hired by individuals and companies and not art directors and agencies like in other styles. And for whatever reason, they still think that follower counts are a deal breaker to hire an artist. That's delusional, but they think that if they hire an artist who exploded on social media for merch, let's say, they have guaranteed merch sales. That doesn't make any logical sense, to be honest, especially when trying to predict sales in person shows, where people tend to care more about the product per se than who made it. So for good or for bad, follower accounts still show credibility somehow. They still show that you were willing to go through a lot to get your art in front of thousands of people. I know it's not fair and pretty discouraging, but at least you don't need a social media following to get clients. If you're a masochist like me and decided to keep pushing, welcome, let's suffer together. What's your target audience? This question is incredibly difficult to answer. Trust me, it's harder than you think. At first, I thought my target audience was anime fans, but that's simply too wide and, well, growth didn't happen when I started thinking that way. How many anime titles do you think have been made up until this day? There are people who grow on Twitter by drawing only one character from one specific anime. There are people who grow by drawing only gacha games fan art. Now we're finally talking about a target audience. In my case, I've been drawing since forever. I get extremely bored by drawing only one character or one niche. So when I started finally growing and could come up with this answer, for me it was other artists. But Sayu, other artists? That seems like a terrible idea. Other artists don't buy stuff from you. They don't sign up to your Patreon. Are you crazy? Yeah, but you're missing a very important part of the puzzle. Other publics were not willing to follow me. They just inflated by numbers of likes sometimes and never even visited my profile. By aiming at other artists, they repost my work if they like it. And for the most part, it's artists who follow artists. So no matter what niche you're aiming for, improve your art as much as you can so you can appeal to the most amount of artists as you can. I learned the hard way and had to finally start growing to find out what the answer was. This question is important to any social media you're trying to grow. Currently, I'm facing this problem on Tumblr. I get lots of engagement there, but no one even stops to follow me there because I don't have a defined niche in that platform. This might seem stupid at first, but your bio is more important than you give credit for. Trust me, we'll get there. Making you searchable from the search bar menu isn't going to do much for you as a visual artist unless you're an artist who works in something that's extremely specific and hard to find. So keep that in mind. Another thing that's very important, this type of bio is extremely limited, so it's not going to be like, let's say, your website's bio where you put information that makes you searchable, your career goals and type of art you make, like cartoon art or anime art. Things started to change for me when I changed my bio from professional anime artist or for freelance anime artists to I draw OCs/VTuber/Miss. This allowed people to know what to expect from my account, and I could partially stop negative surprises like waking up and seeing that I lost 10 followers at once. Alright, I'll give you a few seconds to guess which one of these drawings gave me the most amount of followers on Twitter. If you can guess it within my time limit, I'll give you a full body VTuber model for free. Time's up! The one that gave me the most followers is the one on the left. Now let's break down the reason why. The illustration on the right was done by me and posted in a Japanese fanart hashtag that can receive up to 40 posts in a typical day. It was about the game Needy Girl Overdose, and it is not a hashtag that people were clicking enough to make up for the amount of other fanart that quickly buried mine. When you click a hashtag, the first thing you face is the most relevant poster. By posting to this hashtag in specific, I'm facing accounts in the top 1% to 0.2% of Twitter in the most relevant page, which is huge. Like I mentioned before, I'm in the top 15%, so I'm no match to these guys. The most recent page would get a new post almost every hour. So even if I'm an incredible artist, it's impossible to stand out. In other words, if I don't make it to the most relevant page and I'm able to stay there with a constant influx of likes and retweets, my post is going to be thrown into a dump of forgetfulness. Let's analyze the tweet that didn't get a lot of traction. When you post to a hashtag, it's important to ask yourself who is retweeting from this tag. This information usually shows up at the top. It's not the hashtags that give you visibility, it's the retweet. A retweet from an artist can give you some new followers, and a retweet from anyone big in another niche can give you a lot of likes. The only person retweeting from the hashtag at the moment was Kanjo's official account. I tried tagging her in the post to increase the chances of her seeing it, but some big accounts don't allow others to tag them on photos. I posted this on a day I knew I wouldn't get much traction, and I kinda knew that this was a lost battle. Which comes to the first hint. Keep a list with artwork you may have posted at the wrong time to post again. Don't retweet, post again. Completely from scratch. This will give you another chance to be discovered and retweeted by someone big. If you dislike spamming work in progress pieces as much as I do, this is a very useful tip. Make sure to post later after a few weeks or months have been passed and you already have other posts on top though. Retweeting your old pieces is good as well, but they're only going to be seen by people who already follow you. Now let's analyze this post that worked. Goth girl showing her beautiful rear, huh? But that's not the only reason. Let's analyze this on a deeper level. This character belongs to another artist called Jordan and was retweeted by them. It was a sketch that only took me a few hours and has a white background. If this was ignored, I could easily move on to the next drawing. I could have drawn another OC from another artist and moved on with my life. Now you may ask, how did these accounts with 10k followers get to 30k so fast? How do they get followers overnight when I'm in a dump and it's so painful to get there? Remember I mentioned before that retweets from artists give you new followers and retweets from other people give you likes? Well, when you're over 2k followers, you unlock the ability to get new followers from everywhere, any retweet. Doesn't matter where people are coming from. What explains this? There's a book by Robert Cialdini called The Weapons of Persuasion. In that book, he explains that one of the weapons to convince people about something is consensus, also known as social proof. So no matter how good you may be in the beginning, if you don't already have a lot of followers, people will think there's something wrong with you and won't follow you. Do I think this is fair? No. It's already hard for us artists to draw regularly and keep balance. So if you happen to find an artist who's amazing but doesn't have a lot of followers, please show your support somehow. It doesn't matter if it's by liking their art or following. Just remember that drawing well doesn't automatically come with recognition. How can we contour this? There are other ways. What I did back in the time was to grow by bringing people from my Twitch streams to my Twitter, but that's extremely slow and got me questioning, when am I really going to start growing? If I were to start a Twitter account today, I'd grow by drawing OCs of other artists with bigger accounts and by asking people to follow me in fairs, art cons, and in person. So yeah, the way to grow is by putting the things you need to grow before the things you want to draw. This is a harsh reality, and I know not a lot of people have the time to make this type of sacrifice, and since new followers don't directly translate to clients and some people are just randomly picked by the algorithm, I'd heavily consider not trying at all. It's free work for a platform that will never compensate you. If you like this video so far, please consider going to Twitter and giving me a follow there and help me reach my goal of 100k so all the companies and big people can finally take me seriously. Are hashtags dead? No, you just need to know that some are more competitive than others. Some are tags that people don't use and you're not supposed to use more than 2 in a post. How to find out if a hashtag is competitive? Click the hashtag and see the most recent ones. If a new post is made, let's say every 3 hours, then you're dealing with with a very competitive environment. If there's at least a day in the spacing of more recent posts, you're good to go. How to find out if a hashtag is dead? Take a look at the most relevant posts. If they have way less than 1k likes, the hashtag is dead. Having a successful post by using 2 hashtags or less is something that falls more into the human psychology side of things than the algorithm itself. It's easy for me to cringe when I see a post with a lot of hashtags. The post becomes crowded with stuff and drives people away just by the looks of it. So instead of using a lot of hashtags, tag the people you make fan art for using the tag people feature. Let's take this post as an example. This illustration took me half a month to complete. As you can see, I drew 5 VTubers in a single piece. At the time I posted it, I wrote 6 hashtags in it, and it only got 286 likes. After a few years, I reposted it, but using only 2 hashtags and tagging the VTubers I could by using the tag people resource on Twitter. With that, I got to improve my numbers to 747 likes. If you want to post to Twitter in a way people don't have to click to see your whole drawing, an 8:9 ratio is good. If you constantly forget the ratio like I usually do, a standing A4 or A3 sheet would also do it. But don't limit your art to just creating in this format, or you risk making all your drawings look exactly the same. Threadable content is the new hashtags, and they do give a lot of engagement. Have you ever seen a new outfit trending on Twitter and people drawing their OCs and fan art in this outfits? Yes, they do give a lot of engagement if you do it correctly. I don't know if you have to worry about being late to these trends or not, but artists who draw this Twitter trend outfits do get a lot of engagement and new followers as well. Just don't forget to save the original post with the trending outfit and make a quote retweet when reposting it so people will be able to see your art when you click the replies page. I know this might be cringe for some people since draw this in your style challenge can look like begging for a fan art, but if you draw fan art for a big artist, you are going to get a lot of new followers if you can get the original artist retweet. Follow back and make a private list with the people who follow you and have a large number of followers, and check the list back every now and then. You can also make a private list with the people you want to get attention from as an artist, so you can engage with their posts until they notice you one day. Comments tend to be more effective than likes for bigger accounts. If someone follows you using their phone, they'll be presented with the bell icon. Seriously, I wish more people knew how to use this. You know it can be annoying when you follow someone and never see their posts, right? The bell icon solves all of these problems. It creates a separate timeline only for the people you activated it and shows their posts whenever they post something new. This thing can be the solution for all your problems. Now you as a user can see your favorite artist posts as soon as possible. And if you ask people to activate it for you, they'll never miss an update either. Last but not least, I have no idea how Japanese and Chinese artists grow the way they do. I've stressed over trying to find out how they get to 5k followers by just posting 5 original drawings. If you think about it, it's 1k new followers per drawing, and that's absolutely insane. They're not bots, I swear. I stressed trying to translate videos from Japanese YouTube to find out their secrets, only to find out that there is no secret. My guess is that a lot of people in Japan log into Twitter just to see art. The art community there is stronger, and the simple fact that people only consume anime that comes from Japan, but have no idea that anime is outsourced to other countries overseas as well. So if you're not Japanese or Chinese or Korean, chances are these things are simply not going to work for you. So try not to focus too much on them and do your own thing. Sign up to my Patreon for my illustration PSD files, early access to my illustrations, exclusive brushes, art learning material, and more. Check out this video, YouTube thinks you will like it, and I hope to see you there.